Hi there everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are reacting to some beautiful, juicy, relatable content that people post on the internet. Let's get started. Am I the a-hole for telling my extended family how many men roughly my sister slept with after she outed my youngest brother as a virgin? Why does it sound so juicy? Alright, let's see. We had a family dinner this evening. My family has 4 kids in total. Me, my elder sister, 29 female, younger sister, 24 female, and the youngest brother, 22 male. Extended family attended our family dinner. So all of our significant others, our cousins, aunts, uncles, were there. During the dinner, my elder sister and the youngest brother got into a mild disagreement. My sister seemed, at least to me, to be coming across a very aggressive out of the frustration and losing said argument. The two of them were too absorbed in their argument to realize the rest of us as getting a little bit fed up. I don't like when situations like this are occurring in family dinner. This just makes me so worried because a lot of these things are private and they could be lashed out onto the whole family and the dynamic could change completely for everyone. Eventually my sister got really fed up and said, "Shut up, I'm not going to argue with a 22-year-old virgin." My brother hadn't done any personal attacks up until that point. It was completely unprovoked. I think it might have been alcohol as my sister is a mean drunk. I don't like that. If you don't know how to drink and if you act this way, don't drink at all, please. People who don't know how to control themselves while drinking, I totally think you should not be drinking at all. Anyway, I immediately told my sister to grow up, that she was making embarrassment of herself. She replied by saying everyone knows he's a virgin and she didn't say anything wrong. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. What are you talking about? You're not supposed to say those things in a family gathering. This annoyed me as my bro definitely has confidence issues and doesn't need to be made fun of like this. Especially if a person you know is having confidence issues. This is not acceptable. So I responded by saying how she slept with well over 100 men while she was in college. And that since everyone in the family knows this, it's not a big deal, right? Turns out her husband didn't know this amazingly. I genuinely assumed he must have known. He left the party angrily, saying my sister misled him about her past. Oh my goodness. The tables have turned. Families blaming me for their marriage problems. I refuse to accept I did anything wrong. My sister bullied my brother in front of everyone. All I did was give her the taste of her own medicine. I love when people give the test of their own medicine and then they're like, huh, why did you act this way? Yeah, definitely. OP, you're not the a-hole. Let's read some comments. Not the a-hole, you were looking out for your little brother and you fought with truth. If your sister can't take the truth, she shouldn't dish out. She also shouldn't have kept it from her husband. Yeah. Not the a-hole. 1, she started the personal attacks on body count, so she can't be mad when someone points out hers. Yeah, literally you gave her the taste of her own medicine of exactly what she mentioned, you know? 2, she lied to her husband about her past and that's her fault. If anything, she is the a-hole for that. 3, if their marriage is truly in trouble, for you speaking the truth is probably not the best match. Yeah, so don't feel guilty about what is happening between her and her husband. She is the one who lied and you were surprised that no one knew, right? The whole family knows and her husband didn't, so that's probably what ruined the dynamic. Alright, you guys, let me know in the comments, what did you guys think about this one? Now, I wouldn't say this is too relatable, but it's definitely something that could occur.
I need you to listen to this. I'm on a flight home, San Francisco to Chicago. A guy and girl get sat next to each other. They do not know each other. They are hee-hee-hawing. They're having great conversation. They are talking for about a good 2 hours. She buys herself a drink and him a drink. She goes to buy the second round. He declines. They're about a good 2 hours into this conversation when he decides to tell her that he has a girlfriend. She says, very loudly might I add, because I am a row and a half away. Why did you wait 2 drinks in to tell me that you had a girlfriend? He responds by saying, I mean, that's kind of weird to just upfront say like, hey, I have a girlfriend. She goes, I'm over here thinking we fell in love and this is the start of our love story. The girl in the aisle in front of me starts giggling. This girl over here that's talking to the guy recruits the girl across the aisle from her and goes, isn't that messed up? He waited until I bought him 2 drinks and we were talking for 2 hours to tell me that he had a girlfriend. Miss Recruiter Girl goes, oh my gosh, why did you wait so long to tell her you had a girlfriend? The guy is now in the hot seat.
Pause. Hold on. So this guy is apparently not sharing that he has a girlfriend while being really close to the girl that he's sitting next to, and she gets to assume that they're having like a flirtatious moment. I feel for this girl and I feel kind of bad. Like, they're literally buying a house, getting married right now, and adopting a dog at this point.
Miss Girl goes, yeah, and his girlfriend is not even on his phone screensaver. Huge red flag. Girl in front of me, Miss Recruiter, is like giggling at all of this. Miss Girl goes, wait, are you guys not even Instagram official? How long have you guys even been dating? The guy says, we live together. We've been dating for 2 years. Both girls gasp. Miss Girl then repeats again, oh my gosh, and I thought this was our love story. I thought we were in love. She then tells guy and girl she is a phenomenal actress and it would be such a great idea for her to do a bit of them being married and her breaking up with him, only knowing each other for 4 hours. She then, the girl, starts doing the bit on the plane as we're descending and says, how dare you cheat on me? That was my grandmother's ring. I'm leaving you. The guy is visibly uncomfortable. There were not snakes on this plane. There was silence. If I've ever seen a situation where somebody didn't know how to read a room, it was this situation. Everybody on the plane, minus the girl, but plus the guy, we're all shooting each other looks like, I'm starting to realize that maybe this girl is intoxicated. She then goes to said man, is your girlfriend picking you up from the airport? He starts stumbling over his words. She goes, oh my goodness, I'm gonna follow you out of the airport so I can meet her. Miss Recruiter Girl, who's sitting in front of, realizes this is maybe not a good situation anymore. It's not a joke anymore. It's not funny.
Nope.
She goes, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think this is gonna end well. Miss Girl goes, I was just kidding. It was all just jokes. But I really did think we were in love. At this point, the line is being blurred of what is funny, what is a joke, what is serious, what is going on. The plane lands. Girl, hold on. Go to part 2.
Okay, got the part 2.
The plane has now touched the ground. The plane is taxiing. The lights turn on in the plane. The girl says, oh my gosh, now we can all see what each other looks like. It's like being in the club and the lights turn on. The guy is visibly uncomfortable. She says, oh, so what, the lights turn on and you don't know me anymore? That's what happened with the last guy when the lights turn on. Like loud, like in front of everybody. I'm hearing it. Miss Recruiter Girl is no longer in the conversation, but she is also observing. She says to the guy separately when girl is not looking, at least she doesn't know your last name. The girl overheard her and said, what are you talking about? I had to know his last name in order to get him a drink. The guy is giving her the eyes. Miss Recruiter Girl, he's like, Miss Recruiter Girl now feels bad for guy. She starts having side conversation with the guy. The guy is like looking for a life vest. He is just like trying to hold on to this conversation with this girl so this girl won't talk to him. Miss Girl starts doing a bit again. She then brings up the girlfriend again. I cannot believe you had a girlfriend. I want to meet her. Let me see a picture of her. The guy starts ignoring her a little bit. We start to deboard the plane. Guy and girl say their goodbyes. I'm thinking it's all sunshine and rainbows. This is the end of the story. Girl reaffirms, it was just jokes. It was just jokes. We get off the plane. I'm walking extremely fast because I have somebody waiting to pick me up, right? I catch up behind Miss Recruiter Girl and her friend, and they're talking, saying, oh my gosh, I thought that it was a bit. At this point, I don't know if this is real life or not. Like, I don't know if these people know each other and they're doing a bit or what. I have no idea. She says, Miss Recruiter Girl, I thought that they were going to end this whole thing 20 minutes ago, but she just kept going. I see Miss Girl all the way up in front, extremely fast walking close to a jog. Mr. Guy is nowhere in sight. I'm like, okay, whatever. When I catch up to girl and guy, the girl had caught up to the guy, and Miss Recruiter Girl and her friend had caught up to me. They were behind me. So again, I am now sandwiched in between Miss Girl and guy and Miss Recruiter Girl and girl. She is talking to him, asking him where he's going. He's visibly like annoyed at this point. And he said,
I literally think that this guy does not have a girlfriend. I'm like reading the comments in between and I really feel like you guys could agree. He does not sound like he has a girlfriend and he's probably trying to get away from this girl. She does kind of sound a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
don't you need to like go get your bag or something? She just overtalks him. She's like, where are you going? Where are you going? He's like, I'm going to my car. You need to go get your bag. She says, okay, well, it was so nice meeting you. Your girlfriend's not picking you up? He's like, no, I'm going to my car. I am going to my car. They high five. He sprints to the escalator. She sees Miss Recruiter Girl and starts walking with Miss Recruiter Girl. She's like, oh my god, did you see how things ended? I think that was like so super good. Miss Recruiter Girl is just like, holy shit. I can't believe I just witnessed the start, the beginning, the climax, the middle, the end of everything. Miss Recruiter Girl's like, yeah, I think that was good. She's like, the girl, she's like, I think that we ended it like on a pretty good note. I do not know if this was a bit or real life or what. I have no idea.
Yeah, it does sound a little bit unrealistic, but some crazy things like this always happen. So I won't be surprised if that is the truth. That was pretty relatable. Some things always happen on the planes, right? Yeah. POV, your mom catches you with your midnight snack. Oops. Very relatable. I just moved out of my family house about 2 years ago, and I know how to feel, so I know how it feels.
So,
could you make any more noise? And you're singing. Like singing. You're starting to cat.
I was not singing.
Well, somebody was trying down, some cat down here.
I was just excited about me.
What are you doing now? I closed this door so the dog would stay downstairs.
She's been out with me.
She hasn't. She was upstairs, standing on the bed, looking at me as if to say, where's my food? You're teaching this dog bad habits. The dog thinks has to eat all the time. The dog's going to end up round. It's going to be a barrel.
She's... Look at her.
She's an elderly lady. She does not
And
eat.
look how cute she is.
Yeah.
She's a wee
She doesn't
baba.
eat besides my house.
Wait, I love this accent. Where are they from? Irish. Oh yeah, definitely thought so. Yeah, Irish accent is the best accent I've ever heard.
A hoose.
A house?
Or a moose.
Oh, she's a dog. Right, you have to stop this eating at night. It's not good for your metabolism.
Oh.
What's up to do with you?
Well, I'm the one that's having to pay for the food.
I bought the bed today. Bread and bed.
Yeah, that's because you ate all the bread that we had for the week. Is that your third loaf or your fourth loaf that you had? Pardon me? Have you got a problem with your mouth?
I was going to
Maybe we need to
get
use,
the clock.
maybe you need to use a little bit of white soap to clean out around the teeth. To stop you saying
That is super duper relatable, you guys. She's an elderly lady. That dog was super cute, but I love how your mom roasted you in this Irish accent. That was super funny. I love that. You're teaching this dog bad habits. She's an elderly lady. That was so funny. Alright, you guys, we're moving on to our Reddit posts. Am I the a-hole for laughing when my son came home from meeting his girlfriend's parents because he chose to behave like he does at home? I would laugh too. I'm already laughing. What? My son burps a lot while eating. I've tried telling him multiple times that this is rude. I told him to slow down so he doesn't swallow air with his food. I have told him that this is disgusting. I don't like burping either, so I agree. That's not very polite, especially I assume he's going to do that in front of her parents. Yeah, literally. Burping at dinner with girlfriends, parents. What a fantastic way to make a first impression. Love that. My wife will instantly jump in to defend him. She will say that this is just the way he is and it is not his fault. The thing is that he can control himself when I remind him. He just chooses not to. I have thought about that with my brother too. Does not work. They don't choose to do it. I mean, they choose not to do it though. He just went on a date with his girlfriend last night and she tore him a new a-hole. It was just his first time meeting her parents since they live in another city. They went out on a fancy restaurant and he burped all the way throughout supper. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. What do you mean? I mean, I really don't understand. I understand like doing it at home, but I cannot stand people doing it in the restaurant or somewhere out. Like, did he think this was a family dinner at home or something? I don't know. I don't agree with this. It does not smell like you're the a-hole today. I heard him telling my wife about it and I laughed. He asked what was so funny, and I reminded them both that I had tried dozens, and if not hundreds of times to teach him table manners, and he rejected them, and she protected him. I said that now he's a grown man and he had to learn the hard way. They both think she overreacted and that I am the a-hole for being amused by his experience. I really think your wife seems to think he's being unfairly treated, but the reality is he's an adult now, which makes no sense for him to act this way, especially in a first impression moment in the supper and at a restaurant. Like, grow up. You could control a burp. You could control a sneeze. You could control a fart. Grow up. Sometimes the best way to learn is through experience, and it does seem like he had a bad experience. Definitely. Let's see what the comments say. Not the a-hole. I've also laughed at this. I know, when I read that title, like, that is something that I laughed at first. He's 22. You guys, he's 22. How old is your son? 22, the OP answered. Doesn't matter either way. There are times for this behavior. Not really. Not really. Dinner at the restaurant is one of those. Girlfriend did not overreact. Hopefully he learns a valuable lesson for this. Yeah. Not the a-hole OP to vote this way. I'm taking a leap in faith that you and his doctor have eliminated the possibility that your son has a medical issue, and I'm assuming that he is just an immature, poorly socialized young man. Sadly, I have known a few young men who think that they can belch and fart around girlfriends. I really don't think that's okay. I have had people do this in front of me, and I am a very intelligent woman. In that sense, I do not accept that. My husband does not do that in front of me, except for burping, probably. Like, sometimes definitely you really can't control it, but it happens to me. It really depends on the situation, but you could literally know when a person is doing it on purpose or like pushing it. And their parents, as they do with frat brothers, still consider apologizing for laughing at the situation and introduce him to the Art of Manliness website. OP responds, he is able to control himself when I tell him to. Exactly. So if he does tend to control himself, that means he knows how to do it. So you're not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for sleeping top naked in my bedroom? Nope. You could go commando or whatever, but you definitely could do whatever you want in your own bedroom. But unless you have guests coming over, let's see what you say though. This was 5 years ago. My 18 female mom and okay, I think you meant you are the 18 female, but okay. Mom and I live in a crummy apartment complex in New York City. Our apartment itself isn't crummy. We have taken a lot of pride in making the inside of our apartment look nicer than it really is. But truth to be told, the building is crummy. So much so that our radiator in my room is broken and I get heat every day of the year, even in the summer. That just literally smells like New York City. I trust you because I'm in New York City and nothing here smells like comfort, in my opinion. I prefer not to open my windows during the summer as well because all types of questionable creepy crawliness like to come through the window. So I usually sleep on top of the covers without pants. Last night it was too hot, so I slept without a shirt or a bra. I have pretty huge boobs. It's no secret. But I was in the comfort of my own bedroom and I kept the door closed when I am asleep. Okay, good. At least that. This morning I woke up to find my mom staring at me. She scared me, especially because I have a loft bed and was making direct eye contact with her as soon as I opened my eyes. She stood there and screamed at me for 20 minutes, telling me to put a shirt on and calling me ruthless whore for sleeping without a shirt while her boyfriend was there. I put a pillow in front of my body and closed my eyes to go back to sleep. Why are you worried about your boyfriend, ma'am? Make sure the door is closed. Do you have tendency to go in her bedroom when she's sleeping, or does he have tendencies to do so? That just sounds a little weird, don't you think? It is your space, it is your room, and yeah, your door is closed for a reason. You're not flashing the whole apartment. You're just trying to be comfortable, especially when there is a broken heater. This wasn't good enough, and she ripped off the pillow from my arms and told me to put on some clothes before her boyfriend came in and saw me like this. I told her I keep the door closed for a reason, and if she's worried about her boyfriend bothering me, that's more telling of her boyfriend, not me. That's exactly what I just said. She was absolutely seething and told me I am to live under her roof rules while I'm in her house, and that includes not being trashy and sleeping with some clothes on. Figured that she was being ridiculous, but her boyfriend heard the commotion, ended up coming into the room and get her. Without knocking, mind you. Stop. I do not condone this. I don't like this at all. And left me flailing to find a sheet to cover with. See, he was kind of eyeing me and told me my mom was right and I needed to sleep with my clothes on. I'm having a hard time understanding, am I really an a-hole here? Edit, no, I cannot lock my door. She won't allow me to replace the doorknob with the one that comes with a lock. Additional edit, please stop messaging me and ask me to see my breast. God, why are people on Reddit are so ridiculous? Unhinged. I don't like that. Yeah, people stop doing that. What is wrong with you guys on Reddit? That doesn't have to do with anything. I understand that she mentioned it, but I guess she shouldn't have. Yeah, she shouldn't have mentioned that. She should have just said that she is naked, that's all. Yeah. For those calling this fake, I would die under the conditions I'm describing, and to get just window screens that doesn't help when the heat outside is so thick and gross. It's just extra hot air. Not to mention unpredictable rainstorms that I have constantly closed my window anyway for. Additionally, I have a phobia of bugs and the screens don't seem to stop the cockroaches and spiders. Yeah, I agree. In New York City, they're ruthless. Ruthless. Thank you for everyone messaging me with helpful tips. It's hard to respond to everyone, but I see they appreciate your help. I'll be purchasing a doorstop soon, as well as find the time to discuss my mom that her blow up was about. We have pretty decent relationship outside of this, which is why this shocked me and had me confused as to whether I was wrong or not. I don't think you are an a-hole for this. You definitely have a very uncomfortable situation in like the heater and stuff. I completely understand it's impossible to sleep in conditions like this. So if you have no other choice just to like sleep there for now at least, you're absolutely not the a-hole and your mom is like really rude. It sounds like you are living in a horrible situation and also have to deal with whatever her boyfriend thinks and stuff. So she does sound like a little bit jealous too. Let's see what the comments say. Not the a-hole, honestly, your mom sounds horrible. I'm worried that your living situation might be dangerous given your boyfriend. As an adult, it might be better for you to look for your own space or perhaps move in with a trusted friend. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Like, you are 18, but hopefully you were able to find your place because this was 5 years ago, right? I hope you were able to find your place and won't have to deal with this again because this sounds very frustrating and there's no other solution than to just patiently wait, which is so unfortunate. Let me know if you had any occurrences that are similar to this or you have other stories. I would love to hear them. Make sure you check all of the links down in the description below, but I will be seeing you on the next video. Bye!